This is Jim Neal. This is the introductory video to a series of videos I'm going to produce on composition. This is visual composition or elements, basically showing you how to arrange elements inside a rectangle. So this has applications to photography, if you're videoing something, or making a poster, doing something in desktop publishing, arranging elements on a bulletin board. So this video will go over topics that I'm going to cover in short videos that will accompany this introduction. The first rule of composition that I want to cover is the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds has to do with taking a image or a box and dividing it up into thirds. And where these lines cross, you can see this gentleman here drinking the orange juice is on this vertical third. So we're going to talk about why this is, and how to arrange, take images of this with a camera, or use this to put topics on a bulletin board, or even desktop publishing situation, flyer, whatever you have. Balance and symmetry. Balance basically means if you have something on this side of the picture, you have something on this side of the picture. This picture has a person on one side and a paper on the other side. If you have, this is unbalanced because this side has a larger element in it than this side. And unbalanced images a lot of times give us the a little unsettling situation, act like there's something going on, and this picture certainly does that. Symmetry basically means if you have something on this side of the image, you have exactly the same thing on the other side of the image. Framing. This image is not a real good example of framing, except for one thing. A frame is usually something that naturally occurs, a box or something. You see the window in the background here, something that naturally occurs in the image as a frame, and there's something inside of it that's important. But this also gives us another notion of framing. In this image is framed because this part of the frame is out of focus. So focus becomes a sort of an instrument of framing, as you would. But we're talking about, we're mainly talking about when we're framing something is when we see a natural frame like a window or a doorway or whatever is would frame a subject out in the image. Lead space, look space. Lead space applies to something that's moving in the rectangle. You give whatever is moving room to move into that space. Look space, this image actually has a look space in it because, as you can see, the young man is looking at a paper and there's space for him to look into. So this is a pretty good example of look space. Leading lines. Unfortunately, this image does not have a leading line in it, but a leading line is anything in the picture that leads you back to subject material. A fence row, a road, could be the edge of a chair or desk, anything that is a straight line that leads you to a subject material. Now, one of the things that causes people problems is they will put a fence row or a road in an image and think it's a leading line, but unless it leads you to something in the image, it is not a leading line. Perspective. When you show an image like this image is basically shot at the same level the subject is. But when you see an image like this, you can either shoot a picture down or up on it, or at the same level. Same level gives equal importance to the image as you are. The perspective, if you shoot down on something, it makes the subject less important, and if you shoot up on something, it makes the subject look more important. Focus, and we talked a little bit about focus a second ago. Focus really, in this particular case, is used to frame out the subject material because the subject material is the paper and the person drinking the orange juice, and everything is out of focus a little bit. Focus can be used to draw your attention to a spot. Usually when a person takes a look at an image, it can usually draws your eyes, or your eyes are drawn to the area that's in focus. The other thing that focus can do is if something's out of focus, it could also demonstrate there's motion occurring. So if we see something that's blurred that is moving, that could be someone playing basketball or a car zooming through a still image. If you see a blurred area, that also gives the notion of motion. Now, this is the introductory video. We're going to do short little videos on each one of these rules, and they shouldn't be more than 3-4 minutes long, so you can take a look, get an idea of what the rule is, and practice it a little bit before we move on to the next rule.